In fact, I also think that within the game's first 4 days, we also get to see the stripping CGs, which have been used in Demo 1 right before the not safe for work scene. But as I said beforehand, having any kind of sexy content directly on day 1 would be a bit too early, and additionally, these CGs are probably the Jocks Studio equivalent of these other CGs from the Camp Buddy games, which are shown to the player on day 7 for Camp Buddy and on day 5 for Skull Master Season respectively. So in Jocks Studio 2 they are probably due for a slightly later appearance. Even so, you still might say that having them placed between day 2 and day 4 is a bit too early in comparison to the Camp Buddies, but I'd argue that with Jocks Studio's greater focus on sex as a theme and not just as a side activity, having the not safe for works elements being introduced early is probably expected. Not as early as day 1, but still a bit sooner than previous titles. Yet on this 6 CG specifically, there is still one more gripe which needs to be untangled. That being how many of these CGs the player will be able to see within one playthrough. The relevance of this question stems from the fact that in the Camp Buddy games, the player could only see one of these stripping CGs per playthrough. So for example, seeing Natsumi's CGs would automatically lock you out of seeing the others for the rest of that playthrough. But with Jocks Studio's more open nature, this might not be a restriction that will apply to this new game. Ace could very well in fact go to 6 different events at different hours of the day across maybe a couple of different days that will allow him to see all the love interest strip. But just because he can in theory doesn't necessarily mean that he will in practice. Or does it?